Every day, we are facing social issues. Issues that all of us are part of. Issues that we have to be concerned. That is why we have this program, Issue 101. We tackle issues that affect our localities. Issues that all of us should participate. Issues that also affect our environment and communities. And issues that affect our government. Issue 101. Here is your host, Issue 101.
You're with Senior Simon.
Senior Simon.
Senior Simon.
Issue 101.
Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao, and the entire Southeast Asia, Asia, and the world. Welcome to another edition of
Issue 101.
Today is Monday, April 24, 2023, and you are with
Senior Simon.
And Senior Simon is the firm or is a firm and courageous confidant of truth, an agent of light and clarity to a darkened and unclear controversies in our society. Once again, welcome to Issue 101. Today is Monday, April 24, 2023. For this episode's cool issues, we are going to discuss, tackle, and comment, have our commentary on this topic regarding a Philippine issue once again, which we titled CPP-NPA-NDF leader's death has now been used as a propaganda. Because friends, folks, and co-issues, the loss of their leaders has now been making an issue. The demise of both CPP-NPA Head of the Executive Committee and his wife, the CPP Secretary General, is now used to implicate the death of both co-issues. Is now used to implicate the Philippine Army for torture and unlawful execution. What are the allegations made by the communist rebels? And who are these personalities that died in their so-called extrajudicial execution? That's what we are going to tackle in this episode of
Issue 101.
But before anything else, let me remind everyone, if you haven't done this yet, please do like and subscribe on our YouTube channel and click on the notification bell. Please click the all button so that you will be updated whenever we are going to have videos uploaded or we are going to tackle issues live via Issue 101. And also, don't forget to follow and like our Facebook fan page, Senior Simon Issue 101, and include our Twitter account at Senior Simon 101. So let's start with today's episode on Issue 101. And please do support our YouTube channel. And I apologize if I don't plainly able to speak English or whatever language that we are using, except on Cebuano, of course, because we are so plain and simple. So let's begin with our episode for this live stream. If you want to join with our discussion, you can do that by commenting. Yes, that's right. Just comment on the chat box or the comment box, and we'll read it out loud. So let's start with our discussion right here on
Issue 101.
with yours truly,
Senior Simon.
Okay, so once again, Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao, our neighborhood in Cebu, in Southeast Asia, in Asia, and wherever you are in the world, I know that you are there. Enjoy your day, and I do hope that you are in good health and far from trouble. If you do have trouble, you can join with our chat, our discussion. It's kinda Filipino-based discussion, but remember this, folks, friends, and co-issues. We are doing this to allow other countries, other nationalities to get involved with not involved that they were meddle with our issues in the Philippines, but so that they will be informed, they will be educated, so to speak, of what really happened in the Philippines. So that is why we are doing this discussion, this commentary in English language, so that everybody will be able to understand, especially those who could understand English. So once again, I'm your truly. I'm yours truly. This is yours truly. That's right, Senor Simon. Now, let's begin with this news that came out last April 20. That's last week, friends, folks, and co-issues. And this one is from Inquirer.net, where a news came out that the CPP reveal that the Tiamzon couple and 8 other communist co-issues were, for a while, were tortured and slain by the armed forces of the Philippines. They accuse the armed forces of the Philippines co-issues that the Tiamzon couple and 8 other of this communist leadership and personality were tortured first before they were murdered. So let's read a couple of portion of this news so that we will have an insight of what did happen. So these are the Tiamzon couple, which we are going to learn later what are their involvement, what are their position in the Communist Party of the Philippines. Because this is very important, especially to our friends out there, non-Filipino friends, our foreigner friends, that they will be able to know what are the insurgency issue, because the number one insurgency problem in the Philippines is the ongoing rebellion made by the Communist Party of the Philippines with their armed group, the New People's Army, and of course, their front, the National Democratic Front of the Philippines. So according to this news that came out on April 20, co-issues, it says, leaders of the Communist Party of the Philippines, or CPP, named Benito Tiamzon and his wife Wilma Austria Tiamzon, together with 8 other members, were killed by the armed forces of the Philippines, according to the statement made by the Communist Party of the Philippines last Thursday. The Tiamzons had been on the party's peace talks panel with the government. They had been previously convicted. Listen to this, co-issues. They had been previously convicted of kidnapping and illegal detention of 4 government troopers. Now, listen to this, that this is not just the basis of why they were convicted and incarcerated, and at the same time, probably you will think that because they are incarcerated, they are in jail, they were really tortured and murdered by the armed forces of the Philippines. But let us first, I want everybody to watch this discussion of ours until the end, so that you will be able to learn, to know how this barbaric group known as the New People's Army, with their umbrella organization, the Communist Party of the Philippines, and their front, the National Democratic Front of the Philippines, are destroying the country. So let's continue with this news first. It says, where is that? the entire leadership, according to the statement released by the Communist Party of the Philippines, from their Chief Communication Officer, Marco Balbuena, in a statement he said, the entire leadership and membership of the Communist Party of the Philippines condemned in the strongest terms the armed forces of the Philippines for the brutal torture and cowardly killing of party leaders Benito Tiamzon, also known as Kalaan, and Welma Austria Tiamzon, also known as Kabagong Tao. Valbuena said that the 10 revolutionaries were captured. Take note of their statement. Take note of their allegations, co-issues. This statement from the Communist Party of the Philippines, through their spokesperson, Marco Balbuena, or Chief Communication Officer, or CCO, he said that the 10 revolutionaries were captured in Samar province on August 21, 2022. That's last year. Again, this accusation, this allegation made by the party, it says that they were captured in Samar province on August 21, 2022. At that time, according to their allegation of their capture, they were reportedly unarmed. Wow. So in other words, friends, the two Tiamzon couples, or the Tiamzon couple, were convicted because of a crime, but they are free. And according to this allegation made by the party, the Communist Party, is that they were captured on August 21, 2022. And that they were, according to their statement, reportedly unarmed. Let's continue. The Tiamzons suffered a severe beating in the hands of their captors. Internal reports cited witnesses who saw how the faces and bodies of the victim were smashed, apparently beaten with hard objects. The CPP also disputed the AFP's previous report that suspected that the Tiamzon were killed in a boat explosion. They said, in truth, the already lifeless bodies of the Tiamzons and their group were dumped on a motorboat filled with explosives and tugged from Catbalogan midway towards Taranganan Island before it was detonated. Only 8 bodies were subsequently retrieved by the military. According to the CPP, the Tiamzons' deaths followed a pattern of willful killings against the party's revolutionaries. The party demands justice for the August 21 massacre of the Tiamzons et al. Their capture, torture, and killing were directed by the top officers of the AFP. So that's the allegation again. The allegation emphasized that the Tiamzon couples and 8 others, or 8 other CPP affiliated members or leaders were tortured before they were murdered. And according to this allegation, it happened on August 21, 2022. Now, let's go back to the story as it was being revealed through the Philippine Army and our armed forces of the Philippines. Because co-issues, in August 23, 2022, this report published by the Philippine News Agency, which Army stated that there is no proof of NPA leader's death in Samar Sea Blast. This was in August 23, 2022. According to this report, the Philippine Army has not found any evidence so far that the new People's Army or NPA leaders Kopol Benito and Wilma Tiamzon were among those killed when a pump boat exploded early Monday off the coast of Catbalogan City, Samar. Therefore, now take note of this. From the point that this incident happened until April 20 co-issues, there was no or were no statement being released by the Communist Party of the Philippines. There was no statement that they even recognized the death of the Tiamzon couple. Only recently that they released a statement accusing the Armed Forces of the Philippines torturing and murdering the Tiamzon couple plus 8 others. So let's go back to this news from August 23, 2022, last year. Philippine Army 8th Infantry Division Commander Major General Edgardo de Leon said on Tuesday, their troops conducted underwater scouring hours after the incident and they only saw small pieces of debris in the same spot where the motorboat carrying about 10 armed rebels exploded. Well, really, according to the statement from the Philippine Army or the 8th Infantry Division Commander Major General Edgardo de Leon, he said, we really have to determine if there were human casualties. There were no body parts seen yesterday by our search team due to massive explosion. Even our troops chasing the motorboat located few meters away felt the strong impact of the blast. Let's continue. The military sent another search team on Tuesday to look for physical evidence. Unverified reports disclosed that the Tiamzon couple was among the casualties during the explosion within the seawater of Kanhawan Guti village in Catbalogan around 4 a.m. on August 22. So the allegation made by the Communist Party of the Philippines, they said that the 10 revolutionaries were captured on August 21, 2022. They were tortured and murdered and placed on a boat which towed on the site as given by the allegation and also given by reports from the Philippine Army, and was planted with explosive which was then triggered on that area as this accusation made by Balbuena of the Communist Party of the Philippines. While the Army on that instant, on that very day or couple of days after, said that they had encountered these personalities but they were not yet identified at that time. Even the Philippine Army was not able to verify the identity, was not able to confirm that the Tiamzon couple was among of the casualty of the explosion or casualties of the explosion. Now, another report, another news that we will use in accordance to the story, friends, folks, and co-issues. From Rappler, let's utilize their news report. 8-month chase leads to sinking of communist VIPs in Samar waters. This was a month, less than a month, after the said incident. So this report came on September 15, published on September 15, 2022. According to this news report, on the shores of Tarangan, an impoverished... Okay, let's just skip this kind of introduction because it has to do with setting the scene It's like they are creating a script on this. Okay, let's let's have this. A Facebook page associated with defense and security alerts claimed hours later that Benito and Wilma Tiamzon, believed to be the top leaders of the Communist Party of the Philippines, had died in the explosion. Officials of the Armed Forces Joint Task Force, or GTF Storm, which operates in Samar, confirmed the explosion during a firefight and chase that followed the soldiers' attempt to interdict the vessel headed for Libucan, Guti Island. According to Major General Edgardo de Leon, commander of the 8th Infantry Division and head of the JTF Storm, as he told Rappler on August 26, there were strong reasons to believe the casualties were NPA VIPs trying to flee sustained and extensive military pursuit in the mountain areas bordering 4 towns, Matuguinao and San Jose de Buwan in Samar, Las Navas in northern Samar, and Maslog in eastern Samar. So this area here. Tri-border operations, incessant pursuit of rebel units splintered into small groups by 2021 aerial bombing runs forced the top leaders of the Communist Party of the Philippines to flee their mountain bases for the cost, according to the Armed Forces Joint Task Force. Okay. Oh. So the chase happened 8 months. They were being followed or pursued for these top leaders of the Communist Party of the Philippines, namely the Tiamzon couple. Of what reason, co-issues, we are going to discover and discuss later. But in the meantime, let's continue first on the progress of the news, which happened last year, August 2022, and it is very important for us to learn because the allegation made by the Communist Party of the Philippines only appear this year, this month, April 20, 2022. And they never had released a statement confirming the death of the 2 and the other 8, nor they denied whether the Tiamzon couples or the Tiamzon couple actually died on that same incident. Okay, let's have this news from the Daily Tribune. In this news, it says, Nika confirms Tiamzon couple's death. According to this news report, the National Intelligence Coordinating Council, or Coordinating Agency, confirmed that high-ranking New People's Army leaders Benito and Wilma Tiamzon were killed in the 22 August clash with the military in Samar. This report was published on December, late last year, December 23, 2022. NICA Regional Director Eustaquio Bacabak revealed that based on intelligence reports and statements from the former comrades of the Tiamzon couple, they were indeed among the passengers of the motorboat that exploded in an encounter with Joint Task Force Storm. According to Bacabak, this is already positive. There is already confirmation from the security sector. He said the confirmation has already been forwarded to the military in an internal communication. What are we waiting now is a confirmation from the communist movement. Therefore, this clearly show that at that time, still there was no confirmation. Even at this point, by the way, if you could recall, last year was the death of their god. The the Communist Party of the Philippines Lord Joma Sison, because he's the god of these communist rebels. So if you could recall, also last year by this month was the declaration and the information that has been revealed that their god, their lord, the Communist Party's deity was dead or died last year, December, but by this month, and still there was no confirmation from the party itself. There was no talks, there was no revelation or declaration or affirmation or denial that the Tiamzon couple was alive or died already. So from this news report on December 23, 2022, it shows that no confirmation has yet been released by the Communist Party of the Philippines. And it's really just recently, with the addition of their accusation that the Tiamzon couple and the other 8 were tortured. Were tortured before they were murdered, they were killed, is an absurd and very what we call this, shameful lie. Now let's have this recent reaction by our by the government with the press release, press announcement made by the Communist Party of the Philippines through their spokesperson Valbuena. What's his name? Marco Valbuena. In this news report, in this recent news report, ANYO welcome CPP confirmation of Tiamzon couple's death. The National Security Council on Thursday welcomed the confirmation made by the Communist Party of the Philippines regarding the deaths of its ranking leaders Benito and Wilma Tiamzon during an encounter with government troops in Catbalogan, Samar, August last year. According to NSC advisor or NSC Director General and National Security Advisor Eduardo Anyo, he said, "We welcome the confirmation by the CPP-NPA-NDF of the death of top terrorist leaders Benito Tiamzon and Wilma Austria Tiamzon last August 22. Benito Tiamzon was the chairman of the Communist Party Executive Committee and Wilma Tiamzon was the CPP Secretary General." He added that this statement from the CPP confirmed their suspicions that the two were killed during the clash with the government troops on August 22, 2022. And you said, finally, the terrorists have been forced to admit what many of us have suspected many months ago. And with the death of CPP founder Jose Maria Joma Sison last December, the NSC chief said the communist terrorist group is now headless with no clear national leadership. He added, they have lost both their guiding light in the person of Joma and their commander in the Tiamzons and are now groping in the dark with no direction nor future in sight. Now, this is the interesting statement made by Secretary Anyo. Co-issues. In this slide. However, Anyo scored the CPP's propaganda machinery for concocting and fabricating an elaborate story which even implicates the United States in their deaths in order to squeeze whatever propaganda value from the death of the Tiamzon couples. The CPP claimed that Tiamzon were captured, tortured, and subsequently killed by the armed forces of the Philippines in a U.S.-directed operation. According to Anyo, they are now trapped in their own web of lies, which deserves scant comment. Needless to say, there is no truth whatsoever in this clearly fabricated story, and we stand by the official reports from the AFP. Okay. That one is quite heavy as far as defense, as far as what we call this, as far as denial or the defense from our government on the accusation made by the communist terrorist group. Now, in this news report from PNA again, titled Tiamzon Couple's Death Proves Government Success versus Reds, on April 21, 2023, the admission of the Communist Party of the Philippines that its ranking leaders Benito and Wilma Tiamzon were killed last year in an encounter with patrolling military troops highlights the government's success against fugitives. According to Colonel Miguel Aguilar, AFP spokesperson, he said the recent CPP-NPA-NDF's declaration of the demise of the Tiamzon couple, if indeed true, was the success of government operations against the fugitives of the law, as they confirmed in their statement that these personalities have important positions in the CTG, or Communist Terrorist Group Organization. He added that the AFP has long suspected of the couple's demise following an encounter with government troops in the waters of Catbalogan City, Samar in August 2022, but could not confirm it due to lack of evidence. That would mean that the AFP themselves was not able to confirm the death of the couple because they were not able to produce the body or any that can confirm that they were among those casualties of the explosion. So this is the two sides that we have to wait, co-issues, that we have to determine who is telling the truth and who is lying about this incident. Because the other side, from the allegation of the Communist Party of the Philippines, they accuse the AFP of torturing and killing the Tiamzon couple with eight others. While the AFP said that they, as early as last year, only few days after that incident, they released a statement that they suspected that among the casualty of that boat explosion that happened on the coast of what place was that? Let me check that again. On the coast of Catbalogan or Taranganan Island. On the coast of Taranganan Island, they were not able to produce the body. So therefore, somebody is telling the truth and someone is just making up or making a story. Now, before moving on and giving my personal view of who could or who have probably told us the truth and who is making a story or making up a story out of these co-issues, let us first know who are these Tiamzon couple. In this article from Manila Bulletin, and this is only in already in an archive. Okay, in this article, co-issues, the most dangerous couple in the Philippines. Titled "The Most Dangerous Couple in the Philippines." You can no longer see this. Locate this in Manila Bulletin. It is already in Web Archive, which we searched. It says, Benito and Wilma are not your average grandparents. They are the most formidable heads of the Central Executive Committee of the Communist Party of the Philippines. The husband, Benito, is the chair and head of the Communist Party of the Philippines and its armed wing, the New People's Army. And the wife is the CPP Secretary General. And for those who are not familiar with this armed group, they are actually declared as terrorist group, not just in the Philippines, but I think 18 or other major countries. They were recognized as terrorist group. Here in the Philippines, they are recognized as communist terrorist group. So this Tiamzon couple are on the top tier of that organization. They dictate what movement they want with the armed group New People's Army, who would be killed, who would be assassinated, who would be kidnapped. So they are the people that dictates the movement of the organization in the Philippines. Now the story goes, this is what happened actually. Those two were actually been incarcerated due to a case filed against them. They were filed a case filed against them, and since they were going underground at first, so they were fugitive. They were pursued by our law enforcement. In this news from Crappler, it says, CPP chief wife nabbed. CPP chief wife nabbed in Cebu, according to military. This was in March 22, 2014. Two top leaders of the Communist Party of the Philippines were arrested in Cebu on Saturday, March 22, over standing warrants of arrest for crimes against humanity, including murder, multiple murder, and frustrated murder charges. Armed Forces Chief of Staff General Emmanuel Bautista said in a statement that military and police teams arrested Benito Tiamzon, chairman of the CPP New People's Army, and his wife Wilma Tiamzon, CPP-NPA Secretary General in Barangay Saragosa, Luginsan, Cebu. The Tiamzon couple was arrested along with 5 others while the group was on board on a Starix van and a Toyota Innova. They were brought to the Armed Forces of the Philippine Central Command Headquarters in Lapu-Lapu for processing and documentation. In a statement issued by Bautista at 3:50 p.m. March 22, 2014, the AFP and the PNP arrested high-ranking NPA leaders Wilma and Benito Tiamzon at Barangay Saragosa, Luginsan, Cebu. Wilma Tiamzon is the Secretary General while her husband Benito is the chairman. They were arrested by virtue of a warrant of arrest for their crimes against humanity that include murder, multiple murders, and frustrated murder. They are currently undergoing processing and documentation for legal disposition. The arrest of Benito and Wilma Tiamzon is another victory for the combined efforts between the AFP, PNP, and other stakeholders in the pursuit of peace and security. So this was during the time of President Benigno Noynoy Aquino, or Pinoy. Now, so they were incarcerated. They were in trial because of their case filed against them. Now, when former President Duterte came into power, when former President Duterte became president, he pursued peace. He allowed the Communist Party of the Philippines arrangement or let's say preference of obtaining peace through peace talk, former President Duterte agreed to such arrangement so that there will be agreement, there will be understanding between the government and these communist rebels at the time before they were declared terrorist groups or terrorist group. So due to this pursuit of peace by the former president, he released both. Remember that in 2014, Benito and Wilma, the Tiamzon couple, was arrested. So therefore, they were being jailed. They were in jail. They have to face justice of the case filed against them. But due to the pursuit of peace, and former President Duterte, during his first earlier part of his term, he gave in to the demand of these communist rebels just for the pursuit of peace. That is why, at that time, President Duterte released the two. CPP leaders Benito and Wilma Tiamzon thanked Duterte for release from GMA News Online. This was in August 19, 2016, a few months after former President Duterte came into power. Recently released communist leaders, including couple Benito and Wilma Tiamzon, on Friday thanked President Rodrigo Duterte for facilitating the release to participate in the resumption of the peace talks between the government and the National Democratic Front of the Philippines, or NDFP. Remember that the reason that former President Duterte released the two was due to the peace talk that he aligned or agreed upon just for the pursuit of peace in the country. So according to their statement, pinasalamatan natin ngayon, let's just translate this in English for the benefit of our foreigner friends. We thank President Duterte for his order to free us. That's from Benito, chairman of the CPP and NPA. So their release was in a line of the provision of the JASIG that strengthened of the what we call this implementation of JASIG and all the agreement that they were signed between the GPH and the NDF, or the government peace. What's this H? I forgot, sorry. So they were released. This was in 2016. They were released for just for a reason of the pursuit for peace by the former President Rodrigo Roa Duterte. Just for that. The Tiamzon couple was released for that very reason. Because the president at that time, former President Duterte at that time, believed that during his term there will the pursuit of peace will be realized. That's what former President Duterte, because as far as we know, during the earlier period of President Duterte's administration, he was so open to the left, to the communist, that even if you could recall during that time, that after his, I think that after his oath of office, after his inauguration, he even faced the rallyists. That was a nightmare for the PSG at that time. He even faced the the rallyists, the leftists, the protesters at the time after his oath taking, his inauguration. He faced them. He talked to them. And we thought at that time that there will be finally there will be an agreement, and peace will, and insurgency will totally be eradicated in our country because of how President Duterte was open to this group. That is why in this news co-issues, Philippines rebel starts peace talks in Norway. This was in August 22, 2016. So this was the reason why the couple was released from prison, even though they have pending case, just for the pursuit of peace. But suddenly this happened, co-issues. Duterte scraps talks with communists on February 4, 2017. The very reason why the president about face decided to totally stop the peace talk because of the traitorship of these communist rebels. According to this news, President Rodrigo Duterte is scrapping peace talks with the communist rebels. He announced Saturday evening, February 4, "I will request tomorrow the Philippine contingent to fold their tents and come home. I am not ready to resume the talks. As I have said, peace with the communists might not come in this generation." Duterte made the announcement a day after he left the government ceasefire to match the declaration of the new People's Army. The communist rebels had wanted the peace talks to continue. However, "I told the soldier to prepare for a long war. I said it will not come during our generation. I know them already." He repeatedly said he sees no reason the talks could resume during his term, although later softened his stance to say he might if there is a compelling reason. "Unless there is a compelling one, I don't know what would be that reason, but always it would be in the interest of the nation. If I do not feel if there's a joke somewhere, I will not waste my time and compromise the integrity of the government by releasing all for nothing." Because this was the time where this terrorist group actually made a move while the peace talks attacked the government forces, killed government forces, while the peace talks was happening. And remember that the Tiamzon couple was released due to the reason of the peace talks. Therefore, they have to volunteer to come back to surrender themselves because the peace talks was suspended or scrapped, according to the news by Rappler. Now, in this news from 2020, in line with their pending case, my co-issues, Tiamzon couple gets 40 years for kidnapping, illegal detention. This was published on November 27, 2020. It says, the Quezon City Regional Trial Court on Friday sentenced two ranking leaders of the Communist Party of the Philippines, New People's Army, up to 40 years imprisonment for the abduction and more than 2 months detention of military personnel who were on furlough in 1988. In a 19-page decision, RTC Branch 216 Judge Alfonso Cruz II, or the second, found Benito Tiamzon and his wife Wilma Austria Tiamzon guilty of kidnapping and serious illegal detention and sentenced them to reclusion perpetua, life imprisonment, which spans 20 to 40 years in prison. They were ordered to pay the complainant, Lieutenant Abraham Claro Casis, a total of 225,000 pesos in civil indemnity and damages. Okay. The Tiamzon couple was granted bail on August 15, 2016 to attend and participate in a formal peace negotiation in Oslo, Norway. Both have since failed to appear in court even after the peace negotiation collapsed. Their bails cancelled and warrants for their arrest were issued on August 29, 2018. So this is now co-issues. This is the starting point where the two couples became fugitive, became wanted. They were being pursued by our law enforcers because the talks were cancelled, and they have to return and face their case, head on. Now, in line with that, by the way, that case that they were what we call this guilty about, as in line with that what we call this negotiation, abduction, 2-month detention of military personnel. Not just that, they also were case filed against them for this case. Purge victims discovered from Inupakan, Leyte. The new killing field is called the Garden. 67 skeletal remains of alleged New People's Army's rebels were discovered here, buried in a shallow grave in what is now believed to be the biggest killing field of the communist rebel group in the country. Because this purge thing, co-issues, was done by the New People's Army in order to clean their rank from traitors among their rank. And 2 of the accused case filed against were the Tiamzon couple. So that's the reality, co-issues. That's the truth that all of us must know. The barbaric act of these communist terrorist groups. How they hide behind their so-called human rights advocacy or human rights protector. How they hide behind their what we call this? I forgot. How they hide behind their movement, or they fight for the right of individual person, for the right of the poor. That is what they always do. They perform rally, they perform that, but the truth is they just want to take over. This Tiamzon couple, this allegation from the Communist Party of the Philippines that accuses our government troops of torturing them before killing them is absurdity. One thing that suspects us that they want just to make this as a propaganda thing is because since August 2022, only recently they released statement confirming that the Tiamzon couple and 8 others were being killed. In which our troops, the government troops already suspected, just suspicion. If the allegation made by the Communist Party of the Philippines is true, there should be a statement from the Philippine Army confirming the death of the 2. But why did the AFP did not confirm the death of the Tiamzon couple? Why? Because the reality is this, that they really cannot produce evidence. They cannot recover from that explosion that happened the bodies of the two. So therefore, this allegation made by the Communist Party of the Philippines of torture and murder of the Tiamzon couple is all out lie. And obviously, their sympathizers, the communist terrorist group lovers, will release statement like these co-issues. Obviously, from TD Casino, if true that the Tiamzons and companions were unarmed, captured, tortured, killed, dumped in a boat which was detonated with explosive, then that would be a heinous crime. Is this why the AFP chose to neither confirm nor deny their deaths in an alleged sea encounter last year? Obviously, Mr. TD Casino, they cannot confirm. Why you ask deny their deaths? Actually, they confirmed it by December last year that the two died based on testimonies and some of your katropa, ally, comrade, released through intelligence report that the Tiamzon couple actually died on that very encounter. Another one, still from this TD Casino. A known anak bayan or bayan. I forgot what he is affiliated to. On the deaths of Benito Tiamzon, Wilma Austria Tiamzon, and their companions. See? Bayan. So, TD Casino is bayan. They don't like to be red tag. But obviously, from their state, from this very statement of theirs, they even supported the two. Another one, Gabriela, party list. This is also another front in the FP. We, in Gabriela Women's Party, express our condolences to the families of Peace Consultant Benito Tiamzon and Wilma Tiamzon and 8 others who were allegedly tortured and murdered by the FP. See? Probe gruesome killing of Peace Consultant Wilma and Benito Tiamzon. Another one, Anak Bayan. They are angered by the Filipino youth of the violent torture and death of the two they call hero of the Filipino people. The two, justice for Benito and Wilma Tiamzon. Justice. Did you see co-issues? How these people who don't want to be red tag, but obviously keep on aligning themselves to the Reds, even to the point of pointing out that the Tiamzon was really tortured and murdered by the state forces. Very ridiculous and very traitor. These people are actually traitor to the Filipino people and the country as a whole. So that's it, co-issues, right here on Issue 101. Once again, don't forget to like, subscribe, and click on the notification bell for our YouTube channel, and also follow and like our Facebook fan page. So once again, this has been yours truly,
Senior Samar,
your firm and courageous confidant of truth, an agent of light and clarity to a darkened and unclear controversies in our society and its people, will say, a well-informed person is advantageous. Take care, God bless you all, and all praises belongs to our Lord Jesus Christ. Bye-bye.
And that's all for
Issue 101.
Hopefully the concerned parties will act on the issue. Until next time, thank you for being with us.